Have you ever wondered how it's possible that in a city whose name is tied to wealth and big dreams, like Los Angeles, thousands of people are sleeping on the streets right now? What if I told you the story is not just about poverty? We're about to dive into a strange story that intertwines the past and present of this city. Are you ready? Los Angeles, a city known as the City of Angels, but for many, life here feels more like a hell. Why? What's causing the homeless population in this city to grow every year? And where did this story begin? To answer this question, we need to go back in time. The 1940s, when World War II had just ended, and Los Angeles was growing at a dizzying pace. Thousands of people came to this city hoping to find jobs and a better life. But not everything went as planned. The poor neighborhoods on the outskirts of Los Angeles largely formed as a result of unfair urban and economic policies. In the 1940s and 1950s, rapid industrial growth led to a massive influx of workers into the city. However, the shortage of affordable housing pushed many to the outskirts. Racial segregation policies, like redlining, also played a major role. Banks and the government refused to provide loans or services to minority neighborhoods, leaving these areas deprived of basic services. Over time, these neighborhoods became centers of poverty, unemployment, and homelessness, a problem that worsened as housing prices soared in the following decades. The rapid industrial growth in early 20th century Los Angeles concentrated economic power in certain areas, primarily wealthy and industrial zones. Meanwhile, urban planning policies, like the creation of highways and urban redevelopment projects, destroyed poor and minority neighborhoods, forcing their residents to the margins. Instead of investing in affordable housing and public services for everyone, government funding was focused on developing commercial and wealthy areas. The result of these policies was an unequal distribution of resources, concentrating poverty and homelessness in the city's periphery. Flawed legislation in Los Angeles played a major role in the rise of homelessness. In the 1970s and 1980s, cuts to public housing and social services by federal and local governments left many low-income individuals without vital support. At the same time, strict rent control laws in some areas encouraged landlords to raise rents dramatically or change the use of properties. Meanwhile, the criminalization of homelessness and the destruction of temporary camps left thousands stranded on the streets with no alternatives. These policies didn't solve the problem. They deepened the homelessness crisis. This is where the first sparks of the problem began. Legislation and economic policies effectively pushed a portion of the population out of the system. Now, let's fast forward to today. What's Los Angeles like now? Well, it has some of the largest homeless encampments in the U.S. A whole community living on the streets, from families to veterans, and even people who had jobs just yesterday. In recent years, the number of homeless people in Los Angeles has risen significantly. Reports show that in 2019, homelessness in the city increased by 16%. By 2023, that number reached 42,260 people, a 10% increase from the previous year. This upward trend signals a severe housing and homelessness crisis in Los Angeles. The housing crisis in Los Angeles is driven by a combination of a severe shortage of affordable housing and skyrocketing rent prices. Rent has increased so much in recent years that many families can no longer afford it. Moreover, the focus on developing luxury housing instead of affordable options and ineffective policies have exacerbated the wealth gap, pushing low-income people onto the streets. Some people think this problem is just about laziness. But the reality is, the story is much more complicated than that. Many factors have contributed to this crisis. Flawed government policies, the lack of adequate mental health and medical services, addiction, and, of course, the growing wealth gap. Several policies in Los Angeles aimed at reducing homelessness have failed. 1. Criminalizing homelessness. Laws that banned sleeping on the streets or creating temporary camps without providing suitable alternatives only made the situation for the homeless worse. 2. Temporary housing programs. Programs focused on creating temporary shelters were not sustainable due to capacity shortages and a lack of long-term support. 3. Rent control. Policies that tried to make housing accessible by limiting rent increases led to a reduction in new housing construction in some areas, further fueling the housing crisis. 4. Urban redevelopment projects. Many of these projects, which demolished low-income neighborhoods and replaced them with luxury buildings, ended up making more people homeless. Rather than solving the root causes, these policies have deepened the crisis. The rising cost of housing in Los Angeles is one of the main drivers of the homelessness crisis. With skyrocketing rent and home prices, many low-income families can no longer afford housing. This has led to thousands of people becoming homeless. Additionally, the focus on building luxury housing instead of affordable options has reduced access to low-cost housing and worsened the housing crisis. Charities in Los Angeles are facing numerous challenges, including 1. Lack of funding. The demand for their services far exceeds the financial resources available. 2. Limited capacity. Shelters and support facilities are not sufficient to cover the large number of homeless individuals. 3. Ineffective government policies. Complex laws and bureaucracy prevent the quick and effective implementation of support programs. 4th. Social stigma. Negative attitudes from some communities toward the homeless make it difficult for charities to gain local cooperation. These challenges limit charities' ability to provide long-term solutions. But is there no way to solve this crisis? Actually, there is. In other countries, several successful projects have been implemented to reduce homelessness. 1. Housing First Model, Finland. This program provides permanent housing for the homeless without preconditions, and then offers supportive services like addiction treatment and counseling. The result has been a significant reduction in homelessness. 2. Social housing projects, Netherlands and Denmark. The construction of affordable housing with government support has provided low-income individuals with access to stable housing. 3. Portable shelters, Japan. The design of temporary, low-cost housing that can be quickly deployed during crises. 4th. Employment-based programs, Canada. Combining job creation with supportive housing to help homeless individuals regain independent lives. These projects show that with the right approach, homelessness can be effectively reduced. There have also been several local solutions in Los Angeles that have been effective in reducing homelessness. 1. Homeward Bound Project. This program helps homeless individuals return to their family homes and provides support for adjusting to new living conditions. It has helped people move off the streets. 2. Affordable housing development. Projects like the Skid Row Housing Trust have focused on building affordable housing for the homeless, providing stable housing and helping reduce homelessness. 3. Therapeutic and mental health programs. Collaborating with mental health organizations to offer treatment services alongside housing has helped individuals reintegrate into society. These initiatives show that a combination of housing, healthcare services, and social support can provide effective solutions for homelessness. To solve the homelessness crisis, empathy and community involvement are essential. Each of us can play a role by raising awareness, offering financial or volunteer support, and backing supportive programs. Instead of ignoring these individuals, let's join hands to give them another chance at life. Your participation can create a significant change. Maybe we can't change the whole world, but we can make a difference in one person's life. So, what do you think? Why do you think this crisis is getting bigger every day? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let's raise awareness together. Each of these people has a story, a life. Maybe we can't change the past, but we can build a better future. Until next time, take care of yourself and the world around you.